and welcome to Mercenaries Power. I'm your host, Avanties, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Zerotio.
What is up, gang? And I say that figuratively because I know what's up, and it's Mercenaries.
It is Mercenaries Week.
It
So,
is.
Mercenary, at the time you're listening to this, Mercenaries will have been out for 6 days.
Uh-huh.
And
There's already been a tournament.
there's already been a tournament. We'll get into that. I have been on vacation all week just for this, just for Mercenaries. And I haven't been disappointed. Oh my gosh! In the first 4 days of this game mode being available, I have already leveled 3 full teams to 30. Now, I know I'm slacking. I'm just a casual player. There's a lot of players who have taken way more characters to 30 than that, but I'm really happy with my 3 teams. I've leveled orcs, I've leveled humans, and I've leveled demons, all to 30. I'm super happy with that. I know you've been playing quite a bit.
I
In
have, yes.
fact, talking about that tournament, you actually got to participate.
I did. And we'll just kind of talk about that because that was most of my week of Hearthstone is preparing for this tournament, sponsored by No Pros Here, cast by Mullahu and Spirit Healers host Dragon Rider.
Yeah, now I think it's important to note that Mercenaries launched on Tuesday. The
Yes.
tournament happened Wednesday.
Yes. So
So you had like
we had
less than 24, or a little more than 24 hours.
well, deck submissions had to be done roughly 2 hours before.
Okay.
So it was right at 24 hours of prep and level time. So not only did we have to, theory craft lineups and test them, we had to level those characters up to a point where we could play them in a tournament. And I expected a lot of under-leveled uh, teams. And we had so the Hearthstone Mercenaries Discord and the No Pros Here Discord just lit up with people joining in, prepping for this tournament. We had a lot of people that were going to join, like Luna Love, Language Hacker. Uh, uh, I believe Trump is even in that Discord was talking about it. But because of the need to level up your characters, and they felt like they were going to be able to, because they're doing a lot of other things with
Mm-hmm.
content creation, and they're also prepping for other things, making videos. A lot of them bowed out the last minute saying, I'm just not going to be ready for this tournament. And we had a total of 30 competitors, and a lot of those players had a lot of the same comps. My comp was very much different.
You're
I
you
ran
were
a
the only person running your comp in the tournament.
Yeah, they called it Demon Shadow when they broke down my list, but it was pretty much just a demon comp.
Mm-hmm.
I ran all the demons alongside Tamsin and Gul'dan, and pretty much just that was the focus. The focus was getting out all the demons and having Jaraxxus throw down his fist of Jaraxxus, just
Mm-hmm.
blowing up the board with lots of demons on the board, upwards of 5 or 6 demons sometimes because of the summons. And first game, I lost to a BTX comp.
So, for those who may not be familiar with competitive Mercenaries yet, explain what a BTX comp is.
So BTX is the acronym for the 3 main characters of main mercenaries in your team. Now, BTX can go along with just about any other 3-part bench. Um, so there's lots of different variations of BTX, and BTX stands for Blade Master Samora, Thrall, and Zyrilla.
Mm-hmm.
And positioning for a standard BTX comp is in that order. You want your Blade Master Samuro on the far left, Thrall in the middle, Zyrilla on the right. We'll go into that more in the second half of the show because we're going to do a play portion and actually show that off a bit.
And I want to point out that we're doing something a little bit different with our play portion this time because normally, we just queue into the ladder. But since we're doing mercenary duels, we wanted to make sure we had another live person on the other side playing their comp. So we are going to actually be dueling one of our patrons and listeners of the show, Marspad.
Yeah, he actually has a fairly untested team that he believes will be good against BTX, and so we'll be testing out what BTX does, as well as a possible counter if this goes off well. So we'll see there. But like I said, back to the tournament, I lost in the first round to BTX, but I realized some very important targeting strategies against BTX that worked well for me. And it took a little bit of luck sometimes with Juraxis's a Fist of Juraxis hitting in the right order because they're random. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of randomness in Mercenaries, but there are a couple that are random, just to kind of lower the power level down. After that loss, it was a double elimination, so I went into the losers bracket. I proceeded to go 4-0 in the losers bracket, making the top 8.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then I lost in the, I guess it would be called losers bracket quarterfinals. Mm-hmm. I lost to a nature comp, which is all pretty much if it has nature synergies.
Yeah, most of your nature controls are Brucon, Anacondra, Malfurion, and then some other version of 3 characters.
Guff is in there sometimes.
Yeah.
There's a few different. Some people put Varden in. It's not nature, but it has some control aspects.
One of the most popular lineups was actually BTX nature. So it was Samuro, Thrall, Zarella, Brucon, Anacondra, and Malfurion, and that lineup made it all the way to the finals. It was Atsuna. I can't remember how far Atsuna made it, but
he made it to the losers bracket finals, but he had to go to bed because he was in Europe. So he went ahead and bowed out and took that 3rd place spot. And then the winner of that tournament was Leaf, who also lost in the 2nd round to go into losers bracket, went all the way through losers bracket, and had to win out twice to win the whole tournament. So it was a lot of fun. Big shout out to No Pros here. They had a lot of support and a lot of players. There was a total of 30 players that competed.
It was a really well done event to be done only 24 hours after the release. And I think if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. So I'm going to put a link to the VOD on the Twitch page in our show notes.
Yeah, it was hosted by Mulahu, which was one of the casters. And again, it was very kind of thrown together. No Pros here does a lot of prep tournaments and kind of amateur league type tournaments. Another reason for this tournament that was it was done by No Pros here, but the person who spearheaded it was Posca. So big shout out to Posca. Another reason for that was he was trying to showcase Mercenaries in a competitive format.
You there? Zerotio, did I lose you? So we may have lost Zerotio. What he was saying is they were trying to show this format as it being, viable, and it turned out really, really well. Are you back?
My connection dropped. Yeah, for some reason my connection dropped.
Okay.
But I don't know where
you were in the middle of talking about they were trying to show off the format
so that Team Hearth Legends could or organizations like Team Heart Legends could possibly make a series out of it. Uh, there were a lot of unknowns going into this.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know what kind of format they were going to use, so they decided to do just one team best of three. But obviously, as you start leveling up your characters, they could start doing formats with three teams, conquest. Still do the one team format, but other ways around it. There's a lot of growth for Mercenaries competitively, as well as the fact that they didn't know if the spectate was even going to work properly.
Yeah, yeah.
So they had all kind of contingency plans just in case that didn't work right. So fortunately, it all went off without a hitch, and was there weren't any real bugs or anything like that from the tournament. I was pleased with it, and I will probably do my best to compete in the next one.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. I watched almost the whole thing up until you got eliminated, and then I didn't end up watching the finals. I kind of went back and watched it the next day. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. They did a great job.
And a big shout out to Dragon Rider DK.
Mm-hmm.
She did a great job casting that, and even said my name right. So I
Yeah,
appreciate
it was
that.
funny because Mullahu said your name first on
Yeah,
stream
it was
as
Zerotio,
Zerotio, and
which
then
isn't
she came
strictly
in and she
wrong.
was like, it was almost like she went, yeah, Zerotio, and
So I've had people ask me this: is it Zerotio or is it Zerotio? It's so they're both right. It's a Spanish word and a kind of a rough translation. And but the Portuguese pronunciation of uncle is tio. So it's like the Portuguese pronunciation, but the Spanish meaning. So yeah,
maybe I just start calling you Uncle Zero from now on.
Uncle Zero. Well, that's what my Twitter tag is, Uncle Zero, the old man gamer. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the tournament was fun. It was a big grind. I didn't have all my characters leveled up like I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
My Jiraxis was capped out at level 3. I just couldn't get the shards for him, or the coins for him. Sorry, shards. Talking from other games are called shards. Couldn't get the
Right.
coins for him. So I think next time that comp might still be viable, and I'm going to do some more demon testing. Maybe it's just a 3-piece with another like demon, a true demon shadow or a true
Yeah.
demon fell or something like that. We'll just have to see.
Okay. Well, so yeah, that pretty much covered our weeks and our first news and discussion data point of Mercenaries being live. So let's jump right into some news that we got this week. And there was a Developer Insights blog post that was released on the 12th, which would have been the day
Day of launch,
Mercenaries launched. And they were talking about ratings and matchmaking in Mercenaries. So, Zerotio, tell us a little bit about this Developer Insights blog post.
We're not going to go into a lot of detail because this is a lot of information, but kind of long story short, TLDR is this is the most complicated matchmaking system that Hearthstone has put together.
Yeah, so let me point out this was written by the lead data scientist for the Hearthstone team. So, like, if you're into business analytics and you're a numbers person, read through this blog post. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
Everybody else, it may be a little complicated.
this is Tian Ding. We've seen a lot of information on Twitter from them over the last month or so about specific statistics and standard on certain decks and certain cards, especially in the most recent set, Stormwind. I really like how open and public Tian Ding has been, and this is definitely not anything short of brilliant. They break down how the ratings work, how mercenary levels factor into your matchmaking, mercenary ability tiers, mercenary equipment tiers, which roles. So It wants to make sure it's not matching you up against a complete counter to your lineup. And then queue time, which is kind of the important part everybody's been focusing on. And if it's matchmaking all those details, how long are you going to be in queue? And
Yeah.
basically, if you haven't met in a realistic amount of time, which they don't give, they said the queue runs a minute to a minute and a half, and if it goes longer than that, it generates you an AI opponent. So how do you know if you're matched up against an AI or if you're matched up against a player? The AI always shows up as your opponent,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're matched against your opponent, that means the AI has developed a team to oppose you, and it tends to be a little easier. Uh, I don't know if it tries to counter you or what. I have lost a couple of the AI fights, but most of them I won. I actually was just short of top 200 at one point. I've actually been climbing pretty well.
I'm gonna just throw this out there. My very first PvP experience after I, built my fighting pit, I lost to the AI. My very
Yeah,
first fight.
it can happen. It definitely can happen. It does factor in levels. So
Mm-hmm.
if you take in one level 30 and five level ones, it's going to have one level 30 and five level ones. Now that 30 may counter your 30, and then you're probably going to lose.
That's
So
right.
people think, oh, I have to level all my stuff up to 30 before I can go into PvP. You don't, because it's going to match you up. If it doesn't match you up against a player that matches up your levels, it'll make an AI opponent for you, which is good to a point. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, there's not enough people in PvP. That's why you're getting matched against so many AI. That's not true. So here's the thing. When Hearthstone has made any major matchmaking changes, when they had the new ladder system, when they had the new ranking system, uh, matchmaking was horrible the first month to 2 months because it was brand new. It was reset. MMR was pretty much wiped was replaced with a new MMR system, and so everybody started at the same point, and they rise and fall at different levels. So there's AI and behind the scenes algorithms that try to compensate for that, but it has so much going on. It's really hard. There's a lot of variables that are and a lot of zeros and null values that have to be replaced with
Yeah.
values. It's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. This will flesh out.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they'll make minor adjustments to the algorithms or to the coding. They'll make adjustments to the AI system when it does an AI, when it doesn't do an AI. The queue times are going to get lower because there's going to be more people in your MMR bracket. Right now, everybody's pretty much in the same MMR bracket, and when they jump out because of what levels their characters are, it kind of makes these tiers, and those tiers are going to start falling apart and melding, and you'll start getting more matchmaking. I'm seeing more and more real players now, just now, and it's less than a week later. It's like what, 4 days later, and I'm starting to see a few more players than I do AI. So just give it time. Focus on leveling your characters, uh, and to be honest, going into the PvP, the fighting pit, and using an under-leveled team that gets matched against the AI is a great way to level up your characters
It is.
because
Yeah.
the AI is going to play like an AI. They may have a comp that rivals yours. It's going to play like an AI, so it's a little more likely you're going to win, and you get a lot of XP and coins for wins in the fighting pit. So we'll be going over some tips and tricks a little bit later, but that's if you're focusing on leveling your characters, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. You can get a lot of experience that way. So, all right, let's talk about launch notes. Um, so again, these patch notes dropped on Monday, the day
Mm-hmm.
before uh the game mode officially became active,
Yep.
and basically they broke everything down for us. Mercenaries launched with 51 playable mercenaries, and it really just kind of expands on, or it doesn't expand. It's a broad overview of
Yes.
some of the stuff we've kind of already talked about. Give us a, a synopsis of these patch notes, Zerotio.
So the patch notes, the kind of important part at the time was this was our first look at all 51 characters and all their abilities and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So this is when especially those that were going to compete in this tournament just started taking all this data and creating teams and theory crafting what teams they were going to make to test out on day one. And then from there, it pretty much just breaks down the Mercenaries launch, which we'd already heard about. They did point out that there are some problems with some of the quests, and there are a lot of known issues, and they broke down a few of the known issues that are with Mercenaries that they did not have the time to patch into this patch that they will be fixing in a future patch, which is going to be 21.6. With 21.6 is also going to be the All Hallows End
Right.
event.
So when do we think? So in the patch notes, they say, specifically regarding the preparations for Hallows End, that everything is being set up as costume cosmetic options are coming next week. Do we think 21.6 drops on Tuesday the 19th, or do we think it'll be Tuesday the 26th?
I think it's going to be Tuesday the 26th because this is Mercenaries Week.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, they're probably going to tease out and leak a little bit. Say leak, prematurely announce some of the information for the mini set. And I believe the mini set, along with the All Hallows End event, is going to hit on the 26th.
Okay.
And then that's just in time for, the Halloween season, which is that following weekend.
I do want to point out in these notes, I'm a big Battlegrounds player. There is a new Battlegrounds, Hallows End themed Battlegrounds bundle coming that includes 7 costumed hero skins and a Gala Medivh bartender.
I just saw that.
I am so stoked for this.
So I like this. And here's the reason I like this. So looking at this bundle, the Gala Medivh is the same one from One Night in Karazhan where he's holding out the cocktail, but they've dressed him up a little different. It's not a cut and paste, but they're reusing a lot of the older assets from past sets where they're taking those assets and redressing them a little bit, giving them a little different background. And I love when studios do this because it's economical as well as nostalgic. So we want to buy it because it reminds us of Hearthstone Past with a little bit of new Hearthstone with it. And then on top of that, they're reusing assets. They don't have to get new art licenses. They probably don't have to pay new artists because they just get this artist to adjust what they did. And economically, it's very good for a studio to do that. I know Blizzard's a big studio and they got the quote unquote money to throw around, but any company does well because they make good economical decisions. And reusing art assets or readjusting art assets is a great way to do that. And I do like that this is a little dressed up. It's not just the same art put in for us to buy. It's a little different. So yeah, I might get this because there's a lot of really cool looking characters in here that I don't even recognize all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool looking.
So, as there always is with patch notes, at the bottom there are quite a few bug fixes and game improvements. We will have a link to these patch notes in our show notes if you guys want to pull that up and read through those.
And furthermore, there's just below that. This isn't part of the patch notes, but I posted a link that'll be in our show notes to known issues forum, which actually breaks down all of the known issues with Mercenaries right now.
And I think
Some
it's
of,
important to note that every one of them has either been resolved or updated as of yesterday.
yes, they've all been resolved or updated, or some of them won't be resolved until the 21.6 patch, but they at least addressed that. And a lot of them are with quests or the quest board specifically and tasks.
Yeah.
Some of the tasks have the wrong names for abilities. So it's kind of good to know that if you're on task 1, 2, or 3, usually for every character, task 1 involves their first ability, task 2 involves their second ability, and task 3 involves their third ability. So if the name doesn't match the ability, but it's 1, 2, or 3, usually it means it's 1, 2, or 3 respectively.
Yeah, and honestly, I've noticed that task 4 is usually deal a whole bunch of damage.
Yep.
And task 5 is usually create a bounty at level 30.
Yeah, beat a bounty at level 30.
Beat a bounty at level 30, yeah.
And then I think it's 6 or 7 is beating 2 heroic bounties. So they're pretty uniform after that. 1 through 7 are kind of uniform for every character, just a little different based on what character it is.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they're pretty copy and paste. So if something looks out of place, just do what you would do for another character at that level.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about our experience so far with Mercenaries. I know we kind of talked about our week already, but I have put, of course, I was on vacation, which was good, but I've put so much time into this. Oh my gosh. In a little under 48 hours from launch, I had completed 2 full teams to 30. I was already into winter spring as far as my bounties go, and which night was it? I guess it was Wednesday night. After I couldn't sleep, I ended up playing Mercenaries until 6 a.m. that morning.
It's extremely mobile friendly.
It is.
I mean, Hearthstone is a mobile game, but it's not always the most mobile friendly because it takes a lot of attention. You have the rope timer. If your connection's not the greatest, you could miss a turn, and when you're dealing with a player versus player environment, that's not good. However, with Mercenaries, the PvE content has no rope. If you get disconnected, it resumes. It puts you right where you were at without.
Yep. I've actually had the client crash a couple of times this week, and when I come back in, I'm right back where I was.
Yeah, it's very, 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 very mobile friendly, which I know Hearthstone's a mobile game, but this is Battlegrounds isn't the most mobile friendly to me. I wanted it to be mobile friendly, but there's so many actions and dragging and timers.
It's important. It is so mobile friendly that I feel like we need to tell all of our listeners, guys, we know most of you are probably going to be playing this on the toilet. So don't get so involved in a bounty that you forget where you are and your legs fall asleep and you have to call for help because you can't get off the toilet.
Done that. I call that ETT. It's effective toilet time. The average person spends around 8 hours a week on the toilet. Scientifically proven. What if you could gain 8 hours worth of Mercenaries grinding? Effective toilet time. It's a thing.
ETT,
ETT.
guys. That's
It's a
your
thing.
that if you don't
That's
learn anything else this week, effective toilet time.
that's how you get a leg up on the competition.
Or 2 legs asleep on the
Yeah,
competition.
one of the two. But so I'm working like 65 hours a week, and about the only time during the day when I'm not at home that is when I'm in the bathroom. That's when I have time to play. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in. I have my morning meeting about 15, 20 minutes every morning about 9:30, and that's my bathroom break. And yeah, that's what I do Mercenaries, and I'm playing so much Mercenaries. I go to bed at night, I pop Mercenaries up. If I fall asleep playing Mercenaries, no big deal. Because it saves my progress where I was. And yeah, no sweat. It's
Mm-hmm.
good. So my week was my Mercenaries time was mainly just leveling up characters. I got all of the regular bounties done. I'm done with all normal bounties. And I've done all of the first areas heroic bounties. And the main reason for that was I wanted to get those done because there is a technique that utilizes rerunning bounties over and over again. We'll talk about that in tips and tricks. And that's pretty much what I've been doing the second half after the tournament is focusing on getting my tasks done so I can level up the equipment. But yeah, lots of Mercenaries. I pretty much quit Galaxy of Heroes, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It's done. I've uninstalled it off everything. Mercenaries taking its place.
Yeah.
Marvel Strike Force. I got into the war today, and one of our alliance members like, "Welcome back," because he's noticed that I hadn't gotten my war attacks in, and I haven't
Yeah,
really
I
been
actually
scheduling raids.
I missed attacks in the last war because I was playing Mercenaries.
Yeah,
I have logged in today. I did miss yesterday completely. Didn't
and
even
I told
log
him,
in
I
for
said,
my rewards. So
I am not really back. I'm just multitasking because I'm still over here playing Mercenaries, and on the other screen I have Marvel Strike Force just to get my attacks in, and I'm gonna close it. Normally I check Marvel Strike Force regularly, and I just don't now.
yeah,
I got my key times during the day because it's an energy based hero collector system. So if my energy's gone, I gotta wait for it to fill back up. I get boost of energy at noon, and I get it at 6, and I get it at 9 p.m. And those are the only times I'm logging in to Marvel Strike Force. And people have asked me, I believe Frid from uh, Hearth Coach. He used to be the host of Hearth Coach. I was talking to him in his Marvel Strike Force Discord, and he was like, "How is it compared to how does Mercenaries compare to Marvel Strike Force?" I said, "There's no energy system. I can focus on one character and just keep grinding for their shards, quote unquote shards. Their coins in Mercenaries are shards in Marvel Strike Force, and I can literally just constantly do it
yep,
and not have any restraints that are put into me by the game. You find a specific task that gives the coins you want, and you just run it and run it and run it
So
and run it."
so with that, let's talk. You know, you had mentioned some tips and tricks.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and get into those.
So
So why don't you start with coin prioritization?
yeah, the first thing I have is coin prioritization. You can unlock characters with coins.
I have
Ra-
done so 3 times now.
Rares are 100, your epics are 300, and your legendaries are 500 coins.
Yep.
I don't recommend using coins to unlock characters because when you open packs, you're guaranteed a character every pack. Whether it's a character,
Not necessarily.
every pack there. I actually gave the pack opening. We actually have a link to the pack opening flowchart that was given. The information was given to Ridiculous Hat by the devs, and it's going to check to see if you. There is one slot in the 5 slots that's going to check to see if it's going to open up a character. And it checks to see it checks for a rarity. It's either going to be a rare, an epic, or a legendary. If you open a rare, it's going to see if you have any rares
Mm-hmm.
that you haven't opened yet. And then the flow chart's pretty detailed. See, guaranteed slot, roll a rarity. Uh, do I own every merc of this rarity? No. Open a new merc of that rarity guaranteed. If yes, roll any merc of that rarity. So you're guaranteed to get one of that rarity. I didn't start getting packs that were all 5 coins until I think it was like 70 packs in.
Okay, so I don't have all the legendaries.
Yes, so
My last 25 packs have been all 5 coins.
exactly. So what it's going to do is it's going to roll. That one slot is going to roll random, epic, legendary. If you roll random or epic, because you have all the randoms and epics, you'll get coins. But if that slot rolls a legendary, you're guaranteed to get a
One I
legendary.
don't have.
One you don't have. So you're not always
You're
guaranteed.
not always guaranteed to get a, it's the same
if you don't have every character,
legendary, it's the same legendary drop rates as
yes,
legendaries in Hearthstone.
the
But
cards.
I have heard that officially it's been reported that there is no such thing as a pity timer in this mode.
I don't know about that. It didn't feel, the pack openings felt really, really, really good. And I want to clarify what I said. I said you're guaranteed to get a character if you have not collected all of the rare mercs. You are guaranteed to get a merc. Once you get all of the rare mercs, then there's a chance you won't get a merc. But by that point, then you'll probably have a good collection at that point. My point is, I would wait until you unlock that character by opening it in packs before I spend coins on them. Because if I open a rare mercenary, that's equivalent to 100 coins. I can take those 100 coins and put them into leveling up their abilities and eventually their equipment. That's my first suggestion for that. And the flowchart's a little detailed. We are going to have a link to that in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Second is mercenary prioritization. Right now, the important mercenaries are going to be a Blade Master Samuro and Zyrella, and both of those get unlocked through the tutorial. So
Yes.
definitely try to focus when you're doing your tasks on getting those coins. Those are the ones you're going to want to level up because they are really meta right now. And I suspect we're probably going to see some kind of balance update that's going to affect those two characters. And I'm kind of curious on how they'll do. Maybe they'll refund coins that you've invested in those characters. I'm not sure how they'll do that. And then, did you have anything on mercenary prioritization you wanted to focus on?
Well, no, not really, because I've just been kind of leveling my favorite characters first. So, like I said, I leveled all my demons. I leveled my 4 demons plus Gul'dan and Tamsin first.
I
And
did too.
then
I did
then
too.
I picked 6 humans and leveled those next because I knew I was going to want to play Cariel. I knew I was going to want to play Uther, and I knew I was going to want to play Natalie Celine at some point. So I went ahead and leveled those characters up.
Natalie Celine is sneaky good.
She is very sneaky good. And then I did the exact same thing with Orcs because I knew I was going to play Thrall. I already had Gul'dan at 30. I knew I was going to play Blade Master Samuro. So I went ahead and leveled up. And I leveled them that way because of the tribal synergies. It just seemed to make more sense leveling them together for those tribal
That's fair.
synergies, as opposed to, like, say, taking a full BTX team and then 3 randoms. Like who do I want to level with this BTX? Now that said, I already have Thrall at 30, but I still have to level, and I have Blade Master Samuro at 30, so I still have to level Zyrella, and I still have to level whoever I'm going to run with that BTX team.
Well,
But
I will say if you have Blade Master Samuro, Thrall, and Zyrella leveled up, you can put whatever characters at level 1 with them on your bench, and you will level them quickly going through the PvE content.
yes,
Because you could pretty much go through most, even some of the heroics, with those 3 without ever losing them.
yeah,
Because there's damage mitigation, there's healing, there's a lot of damage. There are some rare bosses that you might have trouble with, but by that time you might have teams
one of my
built up.
other favorites who is sneaky good is Sourfang.
Oh, really? I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't think I've even leveled Sourfang
Yeah,
yet.
I leveled Sourfang as part of my orcs at and he's at 30, and he is a lot of fun to play.
Nice, nice, nice. So, speaking of uh, mercenaries team comps, attack order.
Yes.
So they told us that, well, obviously attack order is based off speed, and if there is a tie, it's going to be random.
Correct.
That is accurate to a point.
As the kids would say, accurate AF.
Well, no, it's not accurate AF. It's accurate to a point. If I have a 5 speed and my opponent has a 5 speed, it's random. But if I have 2 5 speeds on my side, it goes in queue order.
Okay.
So a lot of players first came out and said it's not random, it's from left to right. And I thought, okay, left to right, that doesn't make sense to me. Why would it be left to right and not queue order? But then I thought, well, maybe it's because they're queuing from left to right. Now, when you do your abilities, it starts with the leftmost character and moves its way across every time you pick one. But you don't have to queue in that order. You can click on any one of your characters.
Correct.
So
and I feel like this is an important. Do you have this in there? Okay, you do have it in there. It's
yes.
a little further down, because I feel like it's one of the most important things you can learn in Mercs.
Skipping mercenary combat.
They do not always have to take a turn.
We'll talk about that. It's kind of in the same vein as this attack order. So
Yes.
if I have 2 5 speed abilities, we'll say Sylvanas and Thrall. And I got Thrall on the far left because of positioning, and Sylvanas is on the right. And I want Sylvanas to go first because I want her to get her for the Queen ability first before Thrall attacks. I click on Sylvanas, use her ability, then I queue her ability, then I queue Thrall's ability. Now, if it's matched up with an opponent, it's going to be random. But if they're on my team, Sylvanas will go first because I queued it first, and then it will go Thrall. So it's not from left to right, it's in queue order. And I've tested it in many scenarios, so I can tell you from personal experience, that's how it works. The people that say they're from left to right aren't completely wrong because they queued from left to right. They may not have known that you could queue in any order. The next thing is skipping mercenary commands. When you click on a mercenary or a mercenary gets selected, it's going to bring up their commands. You can click on another mercenary and run their commands, and then just click end turn. Yep. I know the end turn button's not lit up. It's yellow. But you can click on it and they won't do anything. Now, this won me a match in the tournament because I had the 4/7 taunt from Tamsin, and it has a 4-speed attack. If I attacked anything, it would have killed it. And then that opponent would have attacked past my taunt because it's dead and probably killed my Tamsin. So I skipped my taunt's turn. It attacked into the taunt, not killing my Tamsin, so my Tamsin's attack got off and I won the game.
Yep. No, there has been a lot of times where I'll be in a fight and it benefits me more to not queue an attack from
Mm-hmm.
a character that only has the option to attack into a opposing faction. So, like, if I have a green attacking into a red, why? I'm only going to do base damage. I'm going to take a lot of damage. So, I'm not going to. I'm just going to skip a turn. Or if I have the ability to do a non-direct damage, meaning like a whirlwind or something. But there's been a lot of times where skipping a turn is the right play.
Yeah.
So don't be
Also,
afraid to skip a turn with a merc.
and we'll talk more about skipping turns further down the tips and tricks. The next topic, it's kind of twofold, is grinding specific coins and the mysterious stranger. So
Yes.
for grinding specific coins, if you go to a specific bounty and click on the chest, it tells you what coins it rewards. And it'll also reward randomly um, some coins from your team on top of those specific coins that they offer. So you want to pick what bounties you run based on what coins there are for leveling up their abilities and equipment. Also, there's the mysterious stranger. What the mysterious stranger is, there's a portal it's a random portal. It can give you a few options. There's one called the Spud. There's
I love it 'cause
sabotage.
when you hover over it, it says literally could be anything.
Yeah. There's a blue portal that sends you straight to the boss. And then there's the mysterious stranger. What the mysterious stranger does is it gives you three options, like a discover, of characters in your 6-person party or in your party, period.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those will go to your task board to do their task. So if you're working on a specific character, like say Thrall, because you want to get to Doomhammer, which is task 7, you put Thrall in your party and you go to that portal and hope you get Mysterious Stranger. If you get Mysterious Stranger and Thrall picks there, then you will get his quests. So what I tend to do is, and Rarin did a great video about this, where you go to the third, it's the Harpy,
Yeah.
Blood
So
Feather.
this was shared in our patron only Discord by Marspad earlier this week.
Yes.
And yeah, you go to Baron's Heroic mission number 3, which is the Harpy, as Zerotio was saying, and the mysterious stranger or the portal will always be about the
It's the third option every time.
option in. Yeah.
So what you do is you go to Mysterious Portal, you take in. So how I started it is I just took in my BTX, Blademaster Samuro, Thrall, and Zyrella.
Just
Nobody
those 3.
else.
No,
Just
no
those.
other characters.
So when I got to the portal and got Mysterious Stranger, I was guaranteed one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I slowly started filling up my party to level up like some level 1s, because I knew that if you already have a task on them, it's not going to give you another task. And there's another funny thing. If you have a 3-person party and one of them's on a task, it will give you the other 2 and then a random one from your collection. It just, like, I got King Crush the first time.
Okay.
You just randomly, or it'll pick somebody else from your team if you have more people on your team that don't have tasks. The important thing, though, is make sure your task board isn't full.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you get that Mysterious Stranger, or you don't, unless you have a task to kill to finish a heroic bounty or defeat the heroic boss, then retire the run. You go down to view my party, choose retire run. You retire the run, then you start it again. Yep. And you just keep doing that over and over and over again. And your tasks will fill up, and you'll be doing the tasks as you do it. Now, when you're doing the task, a lot of your tasks 1, 2, and 3 are using specific abilities. And for some of the characters like Sylvanas and Lich King, they're on cooldowns, especially the third ability. So you can just skip your turn and not do any attacks. because likely your characters are level 30 at that point. They're not going to be killed by the enemies, or you just use heal abilities, and you just keep getting these abilities off over and over again. Just only use the abilities for the people that are on tasks. That's another way to use the skipping commands as a way to kind of fast forward through your tasks. So these are grinding strategies that are really useful in this type of game. The advantage of Mercenaries, and I keep going back to this, I know I sound like a broken record, is that there's no energy system. Other game systems have ways you can focus on specific characters and specific gear, specific shards. Marvel Strike Force has that. However, you're limited by how many times you can run the node, which in bounties is unlimited, and how much energy you have in a given day, which in Mercenaries is unlimited.
Right.
So to me, this genre of game that Mercenaries has stepped into is the best of its game. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, is having no energy really that big deal? I said, imagine how good Raid Shadow Legends would be if they had no energy. It would probably be the best game of its genre. But it does have energy. So I mean, that it is what it is. I keep going back to it. I'm loving Mercenaries. There's a lot of really good content out there that are giving people information. Now, specifically about tasks, we put a link to the tweet in the show notes. Ridiculous Hat broke down tasks 1 through 18. Every character has up to 18 tasks.
Well, the Mercenaries Discord broke it down. Hat just posted it.
Mercenary Discord broke it down, and Hat posted a tweet of it, which basically breaks down what you're going to expect on what to do for 1 through 18 and what rewards. And this is brilliant. It's so informative. If there's any bugs that
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really think about tasks after task 7 because task 7 gets you your piece of equipment for the character. Why do I need to keep doing tasks for that character after 7?
Well,
this tells me why.
So at task 8, you get 60 character coins and 30 random coins. So 60 for that character and 30 random. And it kind of goes from there. 60 character coins, 35 random. So this is the best way to get character coins for leveling up those equipment and abilities. And then finally at 18, at 16, 17, 18, you get a pack along with specific character coins for that character. So, and then I think after they complete 18, you won't ever get tasks for that character ever again. So the way I'm focusing right now is I'm trying to get all my characters I use through 7. And then from there, I'll probably try to just get cherry pick certain characters that I need coins on, and then any other characters that I might be just something I don't use but may eventually be useful, like a beast comp or something, a Murloc comp.
Right.
I'll start getting them to 7. Then every morning, like this morning, I got Thrall to 7 to get my Doomhammer last night. Well, this morning I got Thrall's 8 task. It just naturally happened. So those are going to naturally happen. Now, I do recommend, first thing, clear your task board.
Yes.
Just like clearing your dailies. Clear your task board, because as you do bounties, you're going to find mysterious challengers. And if you hit a mysterious challenger and your task board's full, you'll get some coins and you won't get a task.
But you won't know because they're all secrets. Because what you're looking for is mysterious strangers.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to be the first time I made that mistake. It's not going to be the last time. I do like the mysterious stranger because I don't know if they meant it. It seems like a throwback to Lord of the Rings. You know, with Aragorn sitting in the pub.
Yeah.
You know, the image even makes me think of that.
I find that the mysterious stranger is really one of the big parts, one of the big reasons I sit here for hours and hours and replay is trying to find those mysterious strangers.
Yeah, Okay, so there are two camps right now in Hearthstone Mercenaries. There's those that are loving the mode and that are really getting into the grind, and then those that like it, that like the gameplay, but they don't like the grind. I don't mean to put him on blast here, but one of my favorite streamers, Regis Kilbin, uh, played this on launch day and was like, "I'll be honest, I loved what I got to play early because everything was maxed out. But as somebody who just plays crazy team comps, I've got to spend hours and hours leveling these characters up. And in the last few days, he has not streamed or made any content. However, I saw him on the top 200 leaderboard.
Okay.
So he is playing. So I suspect that he is taking the grinding and he realized that content creation isn't really good for grinding and leveling and getting tasks and leveling up characters. But once he can get them all up and start making capped out teams, that's where content creation is going to benefit. And I think that's what he's doing based on him showing up in the top 200 leaderboard. So I'm hoping that we start seeing some content from Regis Kilbin on that. And he does seem to like the play mode and the variability and PvP content that he can create by making wacky teams. It's like he does with his decks.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's talk about this team comp we're going to play today. Why don't you go ahead and reach out to our opponent, see if he's about ready to hop in and play with us. But in the meantime, let's talk about this BTX that we've been talking about. As you mentioned earlier, it's Blade Master Samuro, Thrall, and Zyrella. Followed by any three characters you want. So in this comp, you have Anduin, Lich King, and Sylvanas. But as you said earlier, the BTX is not just the name, it's also the order of the characters.
Yes. So
explain that.
You want to start out with Blade Master Samuro on the far left, Thrall in the center, and Zyrella on the right.
So why is that important?
The reason for that is Thrall has an ability that he does damage to a character, and then the leftmost character attacks it.
Okay.
So he'll do damage, and then Samuro will then attack it. And this is going to happen after a Zyrella has attacked a character, reducing its attack, and then Blade Master Samuro will attack it, get +5 attack, and because it was damaged already, attacks it again. So his attack is ramping up. So by the time Thrall can use that ability, which I think it's a turn 2 ability.
Turn 2, yeah.
Then Samuro is jacked up in attack. Usually has 23 to 28 attack at that point, and just one-shots characters. Yeah. And this, if I'm not mistaken, I've seen it go around taunt, because Thrall's ability
is a targetable ability.
Is a target ability. It's not an attack.
Correct.
So it doesn't have to hit
taunt. It's almost like a spell. You're targeting a mob with this spell. It's going to do a little bit of damage and then force the leftmost to attack that same target.
To attack that target. So it gets around like Cariel or Lich King or any of those taunts, or even Cairn.
Yeah.
Cairn is another character that's out there with Diablo. Cairn and Diablo have great synergy, because Cairn taunts up and then and speeds up the rest of his team, and then Diablo gets his attack off before the opponents can. It just does a ton of damage. Mm-hmm. So you want to take out that Diablo, but the Cairn's in the way. So that's what you would do that with the Samuro Thrall combo. And then Anduin's in there for the healing and some good burst damage, targeted burst damage. Lich King's in there for a little bit of healing as well as some taunting. And then Sylvanas is kind of that key piece if you're playing against another comp that's very attack heavy. Mm-hmm. If that comp's attack heavy, she can force those minions to attack each other, killing each other off.
Okay.
Again, versus another Thrall Samuro combo where they're beefing up their attacks. You make them attack each other and kill each other off, and then that's a good day.
All right. Well, I am ready to watch this comp get played. So, is your opponent ready?
I sent him a message.
It looks like he's hanging out in the Mercenaries village.
You can do the outro, and I'm sure he'll be ready by then.
Alrighty. So, if you are joining us on YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion. If you are listening via our audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at heropowerhs.com. If you enjoy the show, you'd like to help support and improve it, you can do so by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/heropower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to check your task board.
Alrighty, so we are up. We are hanging out in our mercenary village.
I am challenging Marspad as we
one
speak.
Is hanging out in our mercenaries village as one is wont to do. So
he has accepted. Now, he did give me a sneak peek of his comp. See if I can look at it real.
Are you there? Did your connection drop out again? So it looks like Zerotio's connection may have dropped out again, although it looks like he is in the game, so we are going to hop in and observe. Are you back?
Yeah. Did I drop again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you dropped out again. You froze there for a minute. All right, so
I am in against Marspad. I don't know if you heard me break down his team.
No, you were completely frozen. We didn't hear any of that.
Okay, he's running dragons and beasts. So we're gonna put down Blade Master Samuro with Thrall to his right, and then Zyrilla to his right.
So we're gonna start with the BTX core.
Yes, because we want to get this off right off the bat. Then we're gonna ready up and see what he tosses out.
Okay.
And like I had mentioned when I was frozen, sorry, he's running Alexstrasza, Voon, Brightwing, King Mukla, King Crush, and Anacondra.
Okay.
He is, coming right out with Mukla, Crush, Dawn Grasp, and has Mukla's big brother as that is Mukla's ability.
Yes.
Comes out with a taunt. So that's going to be tricky.
So so he's starting with 4 characters to our 3.
Yep. So it's like having an elite fight. So we have to attack that taunt first.
Yes, we do.
So we're going to send Samuro into that. Obviously, we want Zyrilla to hit it first, so it'll hit it twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we go ahead and do for the Horde.
Okay.
But we're going to target King Crush because we're going to get bonus damage on King Crush.
Right.
And the taunt should be down by the time Thrall attacks. So let's see if this comp does well against BTX. He says it should.
So it's down.
So he's focusing on Samuro, it looks like.
Yep. Crush is down.
There we go. Now, the reason the reason Thrall hit twice is because I have the Doomhammer equipment, which is the task 7.
Yes.
Which is very important for blasting through characters like that. So now at this point, since he lost a character, I can reposition, but I don't want to. So I'm just going to hit ready.
Okay. He's going to play out another character, which is
going to be Carriel, which means she's going to taunt. Now,
correct.
We can take her down with the same combo we had before, with Zyrilla going after Carriel. Which we're going to do, and Samuro going after Carriel, because we know she's going to taunt. However, now we have the War Chief command,
Mm-hmm.
we could go ahead and I'm going to target Varden because I want to try to get Varden down.
Yeah, so it's important to note that War Chief's command was on a 10
Yeah, because we
turn.
were slowed because of
It's
Varden.
right. It's really slowed down a lot.
So we're not going to be as fast as we were the first round because of Varden. So we want to get rid of Varden. And Varden's going to freeze us when she dies, though. So that's going to be
So
tricky to
there's the
deal with.
taunt.
Now the attack's going to get reduced. So that's going to clear Cariel.
And that gets rid of our Samuro.
Lots of bananas.
All right, so he's down 2. We're down 2.
Yep. So now we have our Cariel still. And see how big the attacks are on King Mukla and Varden because of all of the bananas. And Sylvanas can make them attack each other, but it's on a cooldown. But because she came from the bench, that cooldown will be up.
Correct.
So I'm going to come out with Sylvanas, and then I'm going to come out with Lich King because he has a taunt.
Okay. So are we going to have Varden attack into Crush for the double damage?
I want to see what he puts out, but I think that's probably the way to go.
Okay. So
if we do Varden,
he follows up with Voon.
The problem with doing Varden is they may attack into Voon.
Ah, okay.
So I think we need to have Mukla attack.
You mean,
or
is that Oh, yeah, that is Mukla. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to have Mukla attack.
Okay.
It's not the bonus damage, but that's still going to be fine. I don't think we need to heal, but we can reduce the attack of Voon.
Okay.
And go ahead, or instead let's hit Mukla for the bonus damage,
and that'll try to clear Mukla.
Yeah, and then I'm going to Frost Shield.
Get the taunt up
on Lich King, so get the taunt, and anybody that attacks into him will get frozen. So it's probably going to be Mukla and Voon. I think can summon. Okay, so Mukla taunted.
Yep.
Okay, so that'll get frozen, but it kills it off, so that's fine. So that, if you saw that summon had Wind Fury, that's the level 7 equipment, Worm Claws.
Yes.
That's really, really strong. That's something he was really touting. We can boost our attack. That's really slow. I think we just do the Merc damage to Mukla and try to kill him.
Okay.
Probably going to buff himself. This is where we're starting to get tricky. I think we need to heal our Lich King.
Yes, that's probably a good move.
And then the Death Coil, I have the equipment on him so it heals him regardless, so I can use that for damage. I think I put that on the Mukla.
I'm trying to finish off the Mukla.
Finish him off. Because he's probably going to use bananas on himself.
Yeah, okay. And we need to go ahead and get him off the board so that then we can then focus on Varden.
Exactly. At this point, we might need to do Varden last because she's gonna. They are gonna freeze our board.
Correct.
When Varden dies, so. Okay, so that works. So that means Lich King's attack's gonna just go randomly, which is fine. And it went to the right target. Nice.
Yes, it did.
Okay, so he's gonna drop his last character, which should be Anacondra, I believe.
No, it's a protector, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, you're right. Oh, so he made some changes to his team. So this is not the team he originally said. So nice on him to switch it up on us and do some testing. Let's see here. We don't have a For the Queen, so I think we just go after Varden here because it's bonus damage.
Okay.
That'll be 22 damage.
Yep. Do we go with the Atonement? Or
Atonement's a lot of damage, but it's not all that much damage. I think we need to heal ourselves. Heal Zyrilla. Because this is going to boost the Atonement if we can get it off next turn.
Yeah, and then we still have Anduin Wren on the bench, so.
We do. I think we point the Frostbite at Varden, trying to finish them off.
Okay.
I know we don't get the bonus damage, but we need a little more damage to finish Varden
off. So there's
off.
Frost Shield.
So it's gonna hit. We're gonna hit their Lich King. Okay.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was
that's a rough one.
that is rough.
So we're obviously gonna play Anduin because it's all we got. This is a good comp.
Yes, it is.
It looks like he did the dragons, but he put in Lich King, Varden, and I don't remember who the last one was.
He did beasts and put in Lich
Oh,
King, Varden, and Voon.
Voon. Okay, so he cut out Alexstrasza and Brightwing. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Um,
he was running Mukla, Crush, and whoever the other one was, I forget because we killed him so
yeah.
fast.
So let's look at Anduin first. If we Holy Nova, it can kill 2 characters.
Yes, and that's probably what needs to happen.
And then we can for the Queen Lich King, which should attack into Voon.
Yeah.
Might be how we come back from this. Varden has just been what's wrecking us.
Oh no.
It
didn't go off.
They slowed down. Okay. The freeze happened on Anduin, and he didn't get his attack off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
Yeah. I believe Marspad has come through on his promise of a counter for this.
I'm asking him if he is up for one more challenge. And he says that sounds good. So, want to play one more?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Thanks again, Marspad. You're amazing. I don't know if he's going to run the same team or not. We are.
Okay.
We will see. So there may be some merit in trying to focus down Varden, because Varden is what really hurt us. All the slows and all of the freezing really kind of wrecked us.
Mm-hmm.
He says Voon is so good. Voon is very, very good with his summon. So we're going to open the same way, because I think we started that match fine. I think later on is where we kind of made some possible mistakes. Again, I'm not world's best mercenary player, so I never quote to be that. So we're still learning this along with you guys. Okay, so he is running a different team now. He's running Xyrella, Blademaster Samuro, and Bloodhoof. Now, Cairn's not going to have his taunt out the gate, so I think we need to focus down.
I'm still showing waiting for the game to start. Are you already in?
Yeah, I am. You want to leave and then join back in?
Yeah. It didn't auto rejoin.
Oh, weird. That might be a spectate bug with
It
Mercenaries.
might be. Okay, so anyway.
He's running Xyrella, Cairn, and Blademaster. I think we're going to go after Xyrella. So we're going to have Xyrella and Blademaster go after Xyrella. And then I think we still for the Horde against Xyrella, just trying to get her down.
Okay.
I don't think Cairn's taunt happens on turn 1. I think that's a turn 2 ability.
And he is doing the same thing.
Yeah, he is going after our Xyrella, but our Xyrella got the important part off first.
Yeah. So both Xyrellas have been eliminated.
And he went after the best target, which was Samuro. Because we have Wind Fury on Thrall, we were able to take down his Samuro.
Correct.
So I don't know what he's going to be putting out. I think we just Anduin so we can Holy Nova.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Get the Holy Nova heal off on turn 1, because it's going to be off cooldown because he was on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what gets thrown out.
Malfurion and Brucon.
So nature comp.
Nature comp, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna send Samuro at Cairn because he's Cairn. He's gonna taunt.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to do War Chief's command on Brucon.
Okay.
And then we're going to Holy Nova.
Holy Nova.
Now,
Yep.
he's going to Cairn first, speeding up the rest of his team, and that's where it's going to be nasty.
Mm-hmm.
So Cairn alongside the Nature, they get their abilities off so fast. Oh, he didn't do it first. Oh, he did Stomp. I wonder why he did Stomp but not the Taunt.
Well, our Samuro is dead
I
before
think it was because he
it
was
got
wanting
to
to focus down
attack.
the Samuro.
Yeah, it died before it got to attack his Brucon.
That is that was
So
an
do
interesting
we
play.
drop Lich King here and go to
Taunt?
Protector, Caster, Mirror?
I think so. I don't see any benefit for Sylvanas right now.
Yeah, me either. So why far right?
Positioning at this point doesn't matter. I don't want him on the far left because I want Thrall to use his War Chief command and attack.
Which he can't because it's down, but
Yeah. But when he does get it, I want him to make himself attack twice because that gets himself around a taunt.
yeah.
If that makes sense. So let's. I think because of his health, I think we might just Lightning Storm here.
I agree with that.
It's slow. We don't have a heal available because he's only going to heal himself or Lich King. So I think we penance on Malfurion.
Uh-huh.
And then we Frost Shield up.
Yep.
Now, theoretically, Karen probably taunts. Yeah, he does taunt. Now all the other attacks go around the taunt. So he went after Thrall, which I expected. Man, that's so much damage.
Yeah, it is.
So we are in a position that Sylvanas forcing Cairn to attack might be good. So I'm putting Sylvanas out.
Oh, he
moved
reordered
things
his
around.
characters. He moved Malfurion to the far left,
which is an option you have, and it may actually work out well. Probably because of the attacking.
Mm-hmm.
He knew we would have Cairn attacking the Malfurion, and now it's if we do Cairn, he might not attack into Malfurion, so we have to make Malfurion attack.
Correct. But
so
if we do that, it won't be enough to kill off Cairn.
No, but we have the Holy Nova.
Okay. And do we Death Coil here into Malfurion?
So if we Death Coil, so it's going to go Death Coil then Holy Nova. So Holy Nova's going to kill Cairn. Yeah, I think we Death Coil Malfurion. I like that. Marspad sent me TikTok.
Oh, no Death Coil happening.
The Nature comp is so fast.
Yeah, it is.
Now, see, we saw Cairn come back. That's because of his equipment. He comes back at 40. The one he had leveled up to 40 health. So that's pretty strong. I think we're not looking good. I think we Banshee Bolt onto Brucon.
Okay.
And
just go, just try to penance Malfurion and kill him?
We'll kill Malfurion if he doesn't get healed. And he hasn't slowed us, but nature comps are so fast, especially with Cairn, because Cairn reduces the abilities that turn. Going after Sylvanas doesn't finish Sylvanas off. Okay.
So now he's bringing in his last fighter, which is Lady Anaconda.
We're communicating back and forth. I think we Banshee Bolt on Brucon.
Yep.
And then do we just need to Holy Nova to
I think we just have to Holy Nova.
try to heal up?
Yep.
Because Anduin last if they finish, yeah, they finish off Sylvanas. Yeah, this is gonna be very tough. We're just gonna penance through on Karen, but Karen is going to probably taunt up. Not that it matters.
Heal for 15.
Oh, got the heals, and just slowly whittle us away.
Yep.
I think we still penance because we're going to get more heals out of the penance than we are the Holy Nova.
Okay.
So they're going to heal, but Holy Nova should kill Cairn still. So I'm going to Holy Nova this time.
On an 8 slow, though, if he heals... Yeah. If he heals with Lady Anacondra...
Holy Nova does double.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
Because it does double because of the critical.
Okay.
We might
have a chance to pull this out. Penance.
So we're just going to penance. I think we just keep penancing through this.
Penance.
They're going to be able to get quite a few minions on the board. And then we can start swapping in Holy Nova at that point. Think we penance again?
Yeah.
They get that kind of double strike with her Venom Bite, I think the ability is.
Yeah. And penance again?
I think we penance again, yeah. Because the attack's going to come in, and if we can finish off Anacondra, then we can, just whittle and see. Now we can focus on. I think we can go ahead and Holy Nova this turn. She's going to heal herself.
That's exactly what she's going to do.
So we just penance her then.
If you Holy Nova, you kill the 7/7.
Yeah, but the 7/7 is going to run and kill itself.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. Okay.
And the penance is going to heal us for the damage it would do to us.
Oh, we got it off first.
Yeah. Penance is faster, so.
Okay. So we're 1-1.
Let's do one more.
Yeah.
He said he was down. So the bench saved us that time.
The bench did save us, yeah.
So he did have a counter in the second time for BTX, but not for what our bench held. And Anduin was sneaky good.
Yeah.
Because Anduin on a one-on-one can basically out-heal most, not all, most damage.
Correct.
And that was a fighter. That wasn't even something he had.
Yeah, it was one that dealt double damage to Anduin.
Yeah. Yeah, and he wasn't getting any crit on them. So we're going to open up just the same, which we know he's going to know we're going to open the same. Again, this may not be optimal. We just want to test out this comp as much as we can. And again, thanks to Marspad for helping us out. So he's going back to the first team. What worked last time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta re-spectate you.
Yeah. So we need to go by Mukla's big brother again.
Okay.
So I think we don't have a choice.
Right.
And obviously Zyrella's going to go here. And then Thrall can attack anybody. So we'll have him tap into... Let's have Thrall... It sounds weird. Let's have Thrall attack into... see. Will he kill off King Crush? So 26... Yeah, I think he killed... I still think we go against Varden.
Okay.
I want to get Varden off the board.
Get rid of that slow. That's one of the things that completely wrecked us last time.
That's true. So that's a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
2 of those bananas, 2 of them went to Varden, which isn't great. Okay, so we're slow. We're slowed down, which is really going to hurt us. Do we just mirror image
I don't hate that. It's his fastest ability.
against Varden?
Mm-hmm.
And that allows us to. We can still War Chief's command
Yeah.
because if they kill off Samuro, the other Samuro will still be on the board.
That's okay.
So I want a War Chief's command against Varden as
Mm-hmm.
well. I just want Varden gone.
Right.
And then do we blinding luminous Mukla to work on him?
I don't hate that.
Okay. So I don't think healing is going to help us. So eating a banana, he gets taunt. Oh, 18-18 rush.
Mm. Well, we cleared Mukla. Varden's
Yeah,
still on the
we
board.
didn't get after Varden the way we wanted, but we took down one of his characters.
Okay, so I think it's important to note we cleared Mukla. He's playing Voon.
Yes,
He still has 2 protectors on the bench.
he does. He's saving his protectors.
We know one of them is Lich King. I don't think this is the same team he played the first time. I think it's a little bit different.
He might have switched things up because he didn't have a chance to go into his collection, so he might just have another team.
Yeah.
Do we think we're really low health, so he won't get the attack again? Do we think we whirling blades here?
Yeah, definitely.
And then lightning
Storm.
good?
Yep.
This is area damage. Then do we try to get a heal off on Samuro?
I don't think we will. What about atonement for additional damage?
We can. Do we want to point it at Varden? Pointing it at Varden?
Yeah, that's fine.
She doesn't have any bonus.
That's
There's
true.
no protectors
She doesn't.
on the board.
Yeah, see, I knew we weren't going to get it off, but
If we just get the... Oh, man. Voon is good.
yeah.
Well, that got some damage off.
Yeah, Voon is very good.
So Sylvanas can force Varden into the Devil Sword. They'll kill each other off.
Okay.
So I want to put Sylvanas out. Then do we do Lich King or do we save? Do we want to save Anduin for the end like last time?
I think so. Although it's important to note, his last 2 minions are protectors, which do double damage. No, Anduin does double damage to them. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he moved.
Oh,
So smart.
Well
That's very
played,
smart.
Marspad.
I think we still point this at Varden though.
I do, because he'll run into Crush and kill himself.
Yeah.
It
And
still
then,
dies either way.
do we luminance on Crush,
Yes.
knowing that it'll kill it anyways?
Yes.
He hates that his Devil Sword isn't golden. Yeah, they need to fix that. Or do we Luminance on the Devil Sword to go ahead and just clear it? Because if we Luminance on King Crush, he goes down to 14 attack. He doesn't kill.
He doesn't. Yeah.
Martin. So yeah, we'll do it on the Devil Sword, and then we just Frost Shield, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's done. Frost Shield, good.
Oh no.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Because that's still going to do what we want to do.
But it didn't.
Why? Oh, she was frozen. That's weird. That's a weird interaction.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay. So now we can start working on some area damage. I think we need to Holy Nova with him. We'll start with that.
Yeah.
Because it's quick. He's not slowed yet.
Again, we still got to go after Varden.
We got to get Varden. That's been our biggest problem, is getting Varden down.
I think Varden is one of the strongest mercs in the game.
I think you're right. So we Banshee Bolt on Varden, right?
Yeah.
And then we just Death Coil on Varden too?
Yep. Just Red Rover, send it all over.
Varden is sneaky.
I don't think there's anything sneaky about it. I think Varden is just that good.
And that's going to freeze our entire board. Oh, no, it freezes one. That's right. It only freezes one. I thought it was the entire board.
But now we've got 2 more protectors coming out.
Yes. I'm not going to change positioning. There's really not any need to. So, Cariol and Lich King.
Okay.
So this doesn't matter, right? Because they're frozen?
Correct.
I'm just going to use Reclaim Souls.
Yeah.
Frostbite on Voon?
I mean, whatever you do, it's going to kill Lich King.
It's true. Well, no, because the penance will go off and may heal the Lich King.
Okay.
So I'm going to Frostbite on Voon, and I'm going to penance.
Cariol? No, I think you should penance Lich King. We need to burn Lich King down.
Yes. Okay,
Voon went first, because Voon is fast.
Yeah, Voon's very fast.
So
now we're playing this game again.
Yes.
Do we Nova?
Well,
it's the same healing no matter what.
Then yes, because there's 3 of them and only 1 of us, and we're healing for the same.
So Nova does 20 damage to Cariol and Lich King, but Penance would do 24 to Lich King.
Does 24, yeah. I mean,
so
I think
Nova then, right?
Still Nova, yeah.
Okay. It'll heal for the same amount. Saving Cariol late is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
And he's still got Voon. I think he has this one.
I agree.
Me jerk, you king. He's so funny. I love Marspad. He's just an amazing person.
Click ready.
I think that is... I did.
Oh, it still says ready on my side.
That's weird. It was waiting on him to go.
I gotcha. All right, there it goes. Marspad, congratulations on best 2 out of 3.
What we learned, let me send him go ahead and do a little recap while I send him some thank yous.
All right, so what we learned, Varden is incredibly strong. The slows make or break the games. Let's see. Cariol late for the taunts, super strong. Instead of Cariol at the beginning, Cariol towards the end.
Yeah. Especially if your opponent's going to close out with a healer. It is important to note, the winning comp from the No Pros here was won by Leaf, and they had to win 2 out of the losers bracket, 2 series to win the entire championship. And they had Varden Dawngrasp, Zyrella, Samuro, Diablo, Cairn, and Garrosh.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Dawngrasp, obviously, I've been running that comp. It's very good. I think it's starting to get passed up a little bit. It has some trouble with the nature comps, but it does really well against BTX.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've learned is BTX is that day 1 comp. It was actually day -1. It was the comp everybody theory crafted right out the gate after seeing the stats. And already we're seeing counters beating it.
Yep.
So I know a big fear of a lot of the community was everybody's going to find out what the best 6 heroes are and mercs are, in this case, 3, and just run that, and that's all you're ever going to see. Because in games like Marvel Strike Force and Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, you have an arena meta. And eventually, when you get to the high end, it's just people playing the same teams against the same teams over and over again. And it's monotonous. However, the difference in equipment and positioning and kind of rotations of speed really, really makes Mercenaries unique. And I think this meta is going to constantly evolve. You're going to have a best team, you're going to have a counter. That counter becomes the best team because it beats the best team. Then somebody finds a counter to that counter. And it just constantly flows. And with 51 characters to choose from, the combinations right now are fairly bottomless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, mathematically, there's a bottom to it, but it's going to be so big by the time you exhaust all your character rosters to counter the meta, you're going to be going back to the teams that started out the meta.
That's very true.
It's like a carousel. So I'm really excited to see this evolve. It's only been what, 4 days, and
Correct.
we're already seeing right now BTX was the top. Nature comps are kind of filling in that role to take over the next top. We just saw a good Dragon Beast comp that does well against BTX, and we saw some nature in there as well. So there's really endless possibilities. I'm super excited for this mode. I can't wait to start maxing out my characters so I can just throw any characters together at level 30 to go into PvP.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you haven't done so already. And for more details about our patron-only Discord, head on over to patreon.com/heropower. And we'll see you all next time.
Bye, guys.